I'm going to start off today's video with a message from my spiritual teacher, Mat Kahn. Mat Kahn says as follows: I've been abused. I've been broken to the point where I shattered into tiny pieces. To the point where I had no idea how I was going to reassemble those tiny pieces. I chose love to rebuild and reassemble those pieces. That's all I had left. What a powerful statement. Do you feel that? So many of us could relate to this amazing message on such a deep, deep level. I've seen people in my life who are broken beyond repair, but I never met someone who admitted that they were shattered into so many pieces to the point where they were simply just beyond repair. To the point where they felt that the only remedy left was self-love and light. I am inspired by people who illuminate such light. They found their path in the midst of heartbreak and darkness. In the midst of darkness, their torch illuminated. Their heart poured out a conduit of love, care, and life. In my lifetime, I've been broken. I've been shattered. I've been rejected. I've been ignored. I've been eulogized as if I were dead. A couple of years ago, a rabbi said to me, when you left, transitioned, people were eulogizing you as if you had died. I've also been, in my life, through a passage wherein I was encouraged to commit suicide. People spread a rumor about me that I had committed suicide. So desperate they were to feel this, to know this, to see this happening. I've seen and I've witnessed every measure being used to just make me finally disappear, finally go away. I've had GoFundMe appeals, rallies, in function halls, numerous false allegations which never got anywhere. And I had this measure levied at me more than once. Every time this measure was levied against me, it was done by tortured and broken souls who tried it again and again and got nowhere. No one, and I say no one, anticipated that I wouldn't just not go away. I will see the very pinnacle of my rejection as the spark, the flame, the torch, the light, the energy, the gift, the vibration illuminating my aura, the aura of my essence, and the aura of my being. That's today's first message. I start off with Mat Kahn's message, wherein he talks about what he did when he was broken beyond repair. I then went on to follow on with Jessica Madden's message, how Jessica Madden could really relate to this concept, and how Jessica's taken that amazing lesson on board. Now I'm going to talk about the Torah portion of this week, the biblical portion which Jews from around the world read in their synagogues this week. God appeared to Abraham. He came to visit Abraham in his tent, whilst Abraham was grappling with an illness. In the midst of their conversation, guests arrived. As you can see behind me, guests arrived. Guests arrive, and who are those guests? Dare I say? Those guests were idol worshippers. Angels dressed up as idol worshippers. Abraham didn't make the guests wait. He told God, I am really sorry. I will hence have to go and tend to my guests whilst you wait. What? Imagine that. Who were these guests? Let's go back to that. Who were these guests? Idol worshippers. People who worshipped idols. The polar opposite of who Abraham was. And what does Abraham do whilst God is visiting him? He says, God, please wait whilst I tend to my guests. Wait. What? 1 second. Didn't Abraham remember how they rejected him when he took God on board? When he chose this godly path? Did you not remember that? And how in the world could Abraham make God wait? God, the Creator, whom everyone was subservient to. Seriously, what in the world is going on here? What in the world went on here? Did Abraham lose control of his faculties? Seriously. Tending to idol worshippers over God? No, Abraham actually didn't lose his faculties. Abraham just had a situation which he took full control of. Being kind to every human being is a godly act. Being kind to a godly person, to an atheist, to an idol worshiper, to an agnostic, to a member of any faith, to a religious person, to a secular person, anyone and everyone, that's a godly act. As for the rejection Abraham saw when he saw the idol worshippers, well, that didn't stop or make him think twice when he said, no, I'm not going to forget my godly essence and mistreat anybody. Imagine, even those who rejected, ignored, ridiculed God, ridiculed Abraham, and abused him as a result. They didn't talk to him for years. What does Abraham do whilst God is waiting for him? Abraham has a guest here. It's God here. What does he do? He runs out to meet those guests. Those very guests who ignored him, who rejected him for years, abused him for years. He goes out to greet them. Now, I want to make a point here, a vital point here, a pivotal point here. And that is that doesn't mean that you stand in the line of fire when people are abusing you. Absolutely not. What Abraham did was somewhat different because, well, Abraham was an elevated soul. So for starters, that's the first characteristics he had. And secondly, Abraham had God right there in front of him. So he knew that he was well protected. And so, therefore, us regular people, that doesn't mean that we should go and have any contact with someone who threw glass at us, figuratively. It just means that we should understand the proper parameters of rejection. We should understand that rejection has very little to do with us and all to do with the poor souls who had years of facing demons. Past victims who recovered, and I put that in quotes, recovered, by victimizing others, hurting others, rejecting others, are in deep, deep pain. The energy that comes from rejecting someone doesn't come in a vacuum. Every energy has to garner, has to generate its energy from a source, from somewhere. Abraham knew this. He also knew that the energy in and of itself was part of God. Because hurting another human being, regardless of their race, ethnicity, creed, color, gender, nationality, class, or age, comes from a certain divine source. Anything we do with a super strong strength, or even a mild strength, any source of energy comes from God. Abraham knew this, and he was able to internalize it and deal with it properly. If you hurt another human being, even somebody who hurt and rejected you and ignored you, even somebody who spread suicide rumors about you, even somebody who hurled upon you allegations, false allegations, time and again, which is what I faced in my life. Remain strong. See that person as a victim in disguise. As a victim, just coming to terms, grappling with their past state of victimhood. If you hurt God by hurting another human being, it's like hurting God himself. God knew that. Abraham knew that. Every person knows that and believes in God. So therefore, if you believe in God, you know that too. And if you don't believe in God, you know, because you're a moral person, so you're not going to hurt another human being. And it's not kind. God also, and I want to point this out, God is not immature. He doesn't care if people do or don't believe in him. He doesn't care if people do or don't worship him. And a godly being who truly believes in God should have no qualms about being around atheists, agnostics, or anybody for that matter. Idol worshippers, human beings of any color, creed, nationality, race, gender, class, or age. Now, you might be wondering, wait a second. Why did Abraham see the angels dressed up as idol worshippers? As the very people who rejected and hurt him. Wasn't that generalizing just because somebody dresses like this? Isn't it generalizing when you're going to assume that that person is just like the person who hurt you? Just because someone appears to be similar to a person who hurt you, does it make sense to generalize and be upset at them? Feel triggered by them? Come on, it's ridiculous. Well, I hate to break it to you. As human beings, we are prejudiced. We could put every law in place. It won't change the vital ingredient which drives us as human beings. And when we see someone who appears similar to a person who hurt us, we are triggered and we could lash out as a result. Abraham didn't lash out in this case, but that's what some people do. What a lot of people do when they're triggered, when they see somebody, when they're talking to somebody who reminds them of somebody who hurt them in the past. Could that be changed? Certainly. Abraham changed it. If you believe in godliness, nothing is beyond your capacity. But the first step is acknowledgement. Being a godly spiritual being means that you let go of denial. You let go of masks, facades, and egoistic pretenses, which don't serve you any longer. That's a powerful message. That's a pertinent message. If you are a religious person, if you are a secular person, if you're a godly person, if you're a spiritual person, please take note of the fact that if you're dealing with a person who claims to be religious and they hurt you, they ostracize you, they reject you, they're claiming to be a godly person, that's not really true. You can't reject somebody if you're a godly person. You can't hurt another human being if you're a godly person. And if you're a godly person, you have no problem being around somebody who is an atheist. You shouldn't have any problem or qualms about it. That's this powerful message. If you enjoyed today's message, why not smash that like button? Feel free to share this message with your friends, family, acquaintances, peers. Share away. It's a powerful message with a lot of pertinency. Very relevant. So many of us could relate to it. Please leave a thought or comment in the comment section down below. And why not feel free to share away with your friends and family. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I love you so much.